Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Coffee Bean Talk podcast. I am so excited. I'm not even about to do all that talking. I just got to let y'all know that I have Chardon Cherie in the building. I have been trying to get this girl on podcast for a long time, and the schedule's finally aligned. So I am so grateful to have Chardon Cherie here with us today. And we're going to be on a life journey. So y'all do me a favor and welcome Chardon Cherie. Hey, Chardon.
Yay! Hey,
What's
hey, everybody!
up,
Hey.
girl? First of all, thank you so much for taking the time. I know the schedules have been all crazy, but I'm so grateful and I really appreciate you, taking time out of your busy schedule. I know we've had a couple of sessions that we had to meet before this, so I'm so grateful and I really appreciate you.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for inviting
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
Like, I am honored to be on the Coffee Bean podcast,
Well,
honey.
it is an exciting time because a lot of people are going through a very emotional and spiritual transformation, especially with COVID, happening right now. I have watched you transform really over the years and really over these I would say the last 12 to 18 months, I have just seen like this complete like transformation. And I've just watched and I just want to get into that.
hmm
So, from my understanding, you have gone vegan.
I have, I
Okay.
have,
Now, is
I
that all
have.
the way vegan, or is that vegan on the weekends, or vegan during the week, or is that is that a full vegan? Is that vegan? We eat a little
Well,
bacon sometimes, or vegan little cheese here and there. Or what kind? What? How? Tell me about your
um,
journey.
when you become vegan, it's kind of hard. Like when I first became vegan, I was like, I don't want to be a fake vegan, but
Now, see, that would
because
be me. That would be me.
it's some fake vegans. It's some I don't really know what vegan is, vegans, but I'm a real vegan.
Okay.
However, I'm a real person at the end of the day.
Okay.
And I wasn't always vegan. So sometimes like I said on one of my videos that Thanksgiving, I was in Mississippi and they had sausage and I tasted a little
I'm
bit,
just
you know
trying
what
to
I
see
mean?
how you went to Mississippi, girl. You didn't eat no dressing, turkey, ham. What they eat in Mississippi? Neck bones, turkey. Well, I don't eat all that, but
Collard greens. Well, I could have some collard greens though, but chitterlings. Like,
did you eat that? I know you didn't
I
eat
did
that.
not. I didn't eat that. No, I didn't eat any of that. Actually, we had dressing. We
Mm.
had dressing. We had gumbo. And it was all vegan. My mom was actually there, and so she started on the vegan lifestyle as well since I've been doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom a real soldier about it. She's like, "You doing it? I see it's working out for you. I'm about to be on the bandwagon
Is
too."
she
So
loving it?
yeah, she is loving it. She was
Okay.
surprised. I was, I'm proud of her for
Okay.
actually doing it because like people think you gotta be 100% all the time. It's a process. It's
Okay.
a process. So I'm doing this for the betterment of my body, my health. And so if someday, not some days, but if there's a time when I'm like, it's a sausage right there, I kind of want to taste it, I can taste something. You know what I mean? It's not that serious.
Okay.
It really
Okay.
it's
So you
it, it really isn't.
so
So it's
you
a transition. It's a
okay.
process.
It's a transition. I'm actually starting a little trend this week. Now I'm starting today at 6, from today at 6 to Friday at 6. I won't be eating any meat. It's not that I'm trying to go vegan or trying to go vegetarian. I'm just trying something different.
hmm
To go along with my workout. Something, I mean, just trying it out to see how I like it. So I'm doing straight fruits, vegetables, and nuts this week. That's it. So just
That's good.
something to try,
And
not
you're gonna
committed.
feel good.
Let's see, honey. I
Y-
will report back to you
Yes.
come Friday.
Right. And
So,
we put so many labels on things.
oh
And
my
that's why
goodness.
sometimes I put plant-based or I mean, I relate mostly to the vegan plant-based uh category,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't say I'm a vegan or I'm plant-based.
So,
I'm Chardon.
what? Period. Period.
Period.
I'm me, and
I'm me.
for the most part I'm vegan, but sometimes I'm me.
Right.
So
Right.
what was it that caused you to, because it's not just vegan, and so I do want to address, um because the title of this episode is basically just getting your life back, getting you back, getting
Mhm.
you back in order. So it's not just about vegan, it's about you and your life transformation. What was it that started you on this whole transformation? Because it seems like it's like I can go to a picture of you when it seemed like you were the Chardon that I met, and then I can look at a picture of you today, and this is the new Chardon that I'm getting to know. So,
Mhm.
at what point did you start this journey, and what was that made you say, you know what, I'm about to make a change, and I'm about to do it this way?
It was a number of things, and it started, I think, maybe in 2017, but it
Okay.
was just a process of like, I want to be different. I want to try, my life. I want to change it. It's not feeling the way I want it to feel. I want to do something different. So I tried a number of things until I got to this point. But really, fast forwarding till now to 2020, um, quarantine really accelerated everything. Like, I had already decided to move and do all of that last like 2019, but in 2020, it just allowed me to sit down and be still and really listen to my body, listen to my spiritual guidance, like just had the time to free my mind and say, okay, like honestly, if something happened and you would have got COVID and then you didn't survive or whatever the case may be, um, where would you be? Like, what would you be like? What would you have done here?
Right.
So it gave me time to just sit back, and I think that the overall journey in life is um being able to make it make sense. Like, I
Right.
feel like we just go through life and just do what we see
Yeah.
and what we're used to and with the habits that we have, instead of sitting down and thinking like, dang, when I eat cheese, my stomach be hurting, or
Uh-huh.
I'm bloated every time I eat a certain thing. Not even just vegan is a trend now, and it's good. It's a blank slate. You're eating nothing but good things. You put nothing but good things in your body. But I'm not gonna say you can't add certain things back to your diet that might not bother you. But what I
Right.
will say is that it's not okay to say if I eat cheese, my stomach hurt, but that's just okay,
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
or even in relationships. Oh, it don't feel right, but this is what everybody else doing, or this is what I was raised up seeing. So I'm just gonna do it, even though it
Right.
don't feel right to me.
Right.
So that's what I learned, to listen to myself, listen to what makes sense, like make it make sense. Whatever I do in life now, I gotta make it make sense.
Exactly. And that was one of the things that made me feel like I just wanted to take this week and see what it did, because the more I started getting in tune with just being a little bit more health conscious. Now, I ain't gonna say I'm ripped and I'm just all the way there, but as
You
I've been on
fine, girl.
this
I seen it.
just a little, I'm trying. But as I've started getting on this journey, I have started to slowly remove things from my diet and slowly add certain things that I thought weren't even good, like oatmeal. I hate oatmeal. I put oatmeal in my smoothies now, and it keeps me full. So that's my way of eating my oatmeal without eating nasty. I don't like to eat nasty. So basically,
Right.
even with me trying this new just a week of just eating straight vegetables, fruits, and like some nuts and stuff to keep me full, it's gonna allow me, like you said, that opportunity to say, you know what, if I put cheese, because for me, I don't want to say, you know what, actually, I am going to say more of a lactose, because when I eat like cheese and regular milk, it makes me like bloated. I'm like, dang, like, now I know I ain't this full. I know I ain't burping for
Right.
no reason. Like, what's up? So
Right.
I had to learn that my body is getting into a place where there are certain things I used to eat before that I can't eat anymore. And I heard my
Mhm.
cousin say before, I'm XYZ age. I got to watch what I eat. And it didn't dawn on me until now, where I'm like, you know what? I gotta watch what I eat. I can't eat hot Cheetos like I used to. It don't even work right. It hurts. It
I
actually burns my throat.
Can't nobody eat hot Cheetos
Girl,
though.
girl, I
They
eat them
need to
hot.
throw the whole hot Cheetos away, the whole
Girl,
franchise.
you dip them hot Cheetos in that cheese,
It's the
in
hot
that bag,
fries.
and then you gotta squeeze the bag. You gotta squeeze the cheese all the way up and then eat it with a fork. Girl, don't tell me you don't. So you don't
Are
remember
you
that
having the moment right now?
a moment. I'm going back in time because I can't physically go back there, but in my mind I've gone back. So
Yes.
so you said that you moved. So you've moved from Dallas to Chicago. Tell me about that relocation, like, because that to me is all part of your transformation. Walk through that whole transformation as far as you moving and you're going from being a married woman to like now you're a single woman and you're back on the scene. Walk through that whole. Just walk me through that. I want to be in Chardon body right now. Walk me through.
Okay, so that's a lot right there. So I guess let's bring it back to I was married,
Uh-huh.
you know, and I got a divorce. And when I got a divorce, it kind of was like, let us free, I'm free. You know what
Okay.
I mean? So then I've been in this relationship for 5 years or whatever. So now I'm back on the scene.
Okay.
It's Sharby. She is a socialite. She is getting it. She is at the day party. She is at the night party. She's at happy hour, honey. She is living her whole life. She's taking trips. She's doing everything that she felt like she couldn't do before.
Mhm.
And that was cool for a minute. And then you go back and you say, okay, well, now I'm at home by myself, or I'm in certain relationships that ain't for me because I'm not living my life, the way I should be. So then that brought me back down. So I got on this high of I'm Sharby, I'm it girl, and then I look around and I'm like, I don't got no real connection. I'm really not, feeling this. So that's what let me back down. Like, you need to get back to basics. You need to get to know yourself. A number of things happen, but it's like you need to really think about yourself and go from there. And during the whole process, um, I was trying to figure out why do I was feeling bloated all the time. I was feeling like I just wasn't feeling good in my body.
Right.
And I've had fibroids before, and that's a big thing in the African American community, fibroids. And
Okay.
so I started the keto diet.
Okay.
And in the keto diet, my fibroid within that 6 months, my fibroid grew from, like, I don't know, it was like maybe this size, like small, no problems. They were like, oh, you don't have no problems. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't even know. Let me see. The fibroid grew from small. I knew I had like 5 of them, but the biggest one was really it was doable. I had a surgery. They kind of shrunk them, so they were actually progressively shrinking. And then I started the keto diet. In the keto diet, I had, the bunless burgers and bacon and eggs because it's a low carb protein diet. So you're eating a lot of meat. When I did that, my fibroid within 6 months grew to the size of a
Mm.
grapefruit. Like, it was like literally this size.
Wow.
And so I had to have surgery. I had to get it out, and that got me back to thinking like, wow, what I'm eating is really connected to what's going on in my body. So that kind of helped me with the transition. And so that was that year.
Now
I bought a
let me
go
chime
ahead.
in right here real quick. What
Okay.
was it about the keto diet that made your fibroids grow? Did they
I
ever
believe
tell
it's the meat. It's the meat. If you look at it, it's like dietary. So the bacon, the beef,
you?
all of
Okay.
that.
Okay.
All of that. That's what I tie it into because that's the only thing that I was doing differently.
Okay.
you know. And
Okay.
so afterwards, they said for if you have fibroids, a Mediterranean diet is the best diet that
Okay.
you should use. So I started off as a pescatarian, and then I moved on to becoming vegan. So,
Okay.
but the move to Chicago, I was seeking guidance, and so I got some readings, like spiritual readings.
Okay.
And one of the ladies was like, "You need to. Where are you from?" She was like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm originally from Chicago." And at the time, I had been visiting Chicago a lot. My grandfather passed away, so I was visiting Chicago a lot. And she was like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Chicago, whatever." And she was like, "You need to go back there." And I'm like, okay. At the time, I'm like, I'm good though. I just bought a condo. My job is good. I'm making good money. Why uproot it and move? But
Right.
it was something that was like, girl, you gotta go. It wouldn't get off of my spirit. It was just like, you need to go and move. You need to move. And so when I started the transition, everything just started moving smoothly.
Yeah.
I have a place to stay here, living with relatives, and my job was like, just give us a date where you want to go, and you can move.
So,
So,
so with you saying you got your reading, it was on your spirit that you had to go.
hmm
You're going from being a married woman to single on the scenes, finding yourself. Then you tone it down. Then you say, you know what? I'm going to sell my condo. I'm going to move back to Chicago with family. And that's almost like taking so many steps back to get so much further forward. And so many people would never do it. How did you make that decision to say, you know what? I'm going to humble myself enough to actually go from being free to do me in my own uh, residence to actually going back to living under someone else's roof, finding yourself following their rules. Walk me through that so that, because I personally feel like so many of us would like to, oh, I'm independent. I don't need to do this. But you see so many other cultures that will literally everybody find a closet, find a place on the floor, find any place in this square foot to lay down so you can get up tomorrow and hustle so that we can push you out so that you can have your own business, your own home, and then you're not struggling. But for us, we seem to like to go out and struggle early. I had my first apartment in high school. I went to prom from my own apartment, and I look back on those days and I don't know why I would have been so anxious to pay bills. So go back to when you decided to go and actually live with a relative.
um, I did the same thing, girl. I was out at 17. I lived with family a little bit at first, but I had an apartment and could jump right into paying bills. And I've always told my nieces and nephews, um, shout out to my nieces and nephews. Rich auntie, is your auntie looking rich? But anyway,
Rich.
I love y'all. I always told I gave that advice, but I wasn't taking that advice. You
Right.
know what I mean? And so it was a transition. I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle. I knew in moving to Chicago, I had already started having that mindset of make it make sense. And for me, it didn't make sense for me to jump from one state to another state and jump out and get an apartment. It just didn't make sense. And I started getting out of debt and paying my debt off and doing stuff like that. And I'm like, that don't make sense to
Right.
try to jump out there. So I was like, girl, you gotta crawl before you walk, and you gotta humble yourself, like you said. And it was good for me because where I live with relatives, they're not as, it's a big enough house, and it's like they're not. I'm under their roof, but they're not down my throat
Right.
all the time. So it worked out. So that's another way that another sign of when you're walking in the way you're supposed to be walking in, things will open up for you.
Right.
And I tried to I didn't allow fear to guide what I was about to do.
Right.
So, but I was in limbo for a while. So I didn't sell my condo at first because for me that was like if I really needed to, I could just go back. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I didn't sell it at first. And so I think that kind of helps that I had in the back of my mind. Yeah, I'm doing this for me because I want to progress in life, but I also have that safety net, which I didn't need it. I really was just paying extra money for no reason, but that's what helped me to move forward. And once I got here, I was like, "Girl, you was worried about nothing. Why you was worried?" Because I had some sleepless night. I cried and everything, girl, but
And
it
that
was
was
all
all
for nothing.
and that was all part of the transformation. That was all part of your,
Mhm.
coming out of the cocoon. Like that was all
Mhm.
part of that. And to me, so many people don't want to go through those emotions because sometimes when you walk away from relationships, or like you said, when you change your diet and you're willing to give up certain things, or when you're willing to, for the sake of conversation, uproot your life and go to another state and live with family, it forces you in some way, shape, or form to look at inner self. And so
Mhm.
many people do so many things, stay in relationships longer than they should, continue to let their weight get up and out of control, continue to go through
Mhm.
mental illness and things like that because they're not willing to address things that have happened in the past. So when you actually go through that transformation and it forces you to look at self, it is hard. It is so hard to literally look at yourself and say, like, these things are wrong with me, or these things happen to
Mhm.
me. And because these things happen to me, or my past looked like this, now I'm this person and I'm just in a mess, and I want to get out, but it's so much easier to stay in and cover it up with a little makeup and a little lipstick. It's so much easier.
Right.
But when you actually say, you know what, I'm gonna sit in this, I'm gonna
Mhm.
sit in this, it brings so much life to you. And you are one person who I can literally say you can see the life coming out of you, coming, it shines through you.
No, thank
So
you.
it is like
Shine bright like a
a
diamond.
diamond. Do you hear me? And so it is so nice to see people actually um breaking generational curses and not sitting in so much of that. Like we eat what we were taught to eat. I don't
Mhm.
even know. And I actually had a conversation with my grandma. I was like, Grandma, I never, a lot of people tell me that they ate this, their grandma made this, so they had to eat that. Whereas
Mhm.
with my grandmother, I had never seen her cook certain things. I lived with my grandmother for a portion of my life, and I asked her, and she said, "Oh yeah, I would just cook what you wanted," which speaks
Mm.
to why I don't like certain foods because I've always only eaten what I wanted. I've never taken
Oh, wow.
a chance to try anything and to see if I
Mm.
liked it. Like I had never had any like crawfish boil or anything. Like I never had that till I moved to Texas, and that was just only a couple years ago that I even tried it. So
Mm.
um,
Gotcha.
you taking these steps to like really dive deep into self, that is so hard, and it takes like a person that is really mentally strong enough to deal with self, because it's easy to point the finger and blame everybody for the reason that we are the way we are, instead of just saying like, I am this way and it is because of X, Y, and Z, but it is my job now to make those
Right.
changes. So I commend you for really taking the steps and really just diving in to know who you are before you just decided to live life and live a toxic life within yourself.
Mhm.
So
I um I can't say it was me. I can't say it was all me. During the process, it was a lot of um I got a personal relationship with God. So I
that's right.
can't say that it was all me at all. I was being guided through the whole process.
Good.
So
Now, when you say you got a personal relationship with God, I mean, a lot of people are in this place of spirituality versus religion. And it's just so much like when I say transformation, I feel like everybody's going through some transformation or another. And part of it is the whole, religion thing. A lot of people have gotten are starting to get away from religion and getting more into spirituality. And when you say you got a personal relationship with God, it further speaks to the fact that you can have a relationship with God. You can walk in the way that in the path that God wants you to, without having to feel like you're confined to um a religion. And a lot of people are do feel like religious people judge and make them feel this way and push them away from the church. So when you say you found your relationship with God, or you got a personal relationship with God, how is that more on a spiritual level? Are you religious, or like how is that going for you?
Um, so it's not religion at all. It's
Okay.
not religion at all. It's not, oh, I gotta go to church, or what. I guess how I was raised, was kind of like, if you sin, you gonna get, you going to hell. You know what I mean? Not, how we all, like most of us did. So, it's just really knowing that God is on the inside of all of us,
That's
you
right.
know, and um, none of us are perfect. None of us are going to be able to not sin, just because you do something that is not considered, Christian like, or, that doesn't mean that God doesn't love you, or
Right.
that you're not still going to fulfill your purpose in life,
Yeah.
and what religion does is it brings shame on you. It brings shame. It limits you. Um, when you get free of that, it just opens up so much more in your life.
Right.
So I
Now,
would say
yeah.
I'm a liberal Christian.
Let me ask you this. With
If
you,
I gotta put a label on
if,
it.
if you with you going through that, are you finding that people are reaching out to you more like, what are you doing? Because I see something so different in you, but I can't put my finger. What are you doing? Are people reaching out to you, even, hitting you up with that?
Yeah, people are reaching out to me. They are. I think that people have reached out to me even over my journey,
Mhm.
in one way or the other. But I
Yeah.
think people connect with me. Um, I am working on being more open because of my past and my childhood and things like that. I was more of, and also my natural demeanor is
Mhm.
more reserved.
Yeah.
Like we talked before, and you was like, I ain't never even heard you talk on social media. And a lot of people that were around me, they never really heard me talk like that. They just saw, okay, Chardon, she cool, she whatever, but she not really engaging, or I didn't feel like people felt open to coming to me with certain things because they might have thought I was judged, or might think, oh, she thinks she's perfect, or she wouldn't understand. So
Okay.
in opening up more on these platforms and doing videos and stuff like that, I feel like I have opened up that part more to
Okay.
people. And because it's a judgment free zone here. And I've been through a lot. So and what I can credit to God is that I don't look like what I've been through.
Do
And
you hear
nobody
me?
has.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
nobody has to.
Okay.
You don't gotta wear it on your chest. You ain't gotta,
Exactly.
if you've been through something, you gotta walk around like you've been through that.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
you even just said, a lot of people, um, they're coming to you because we haven't heard you speak out. And I noticed it too, girl. I was on just scrolling one day and there was a video. And I'm like, should I doing videos now? So I listened to it. And this video in particular, and I'll let you talk about it, was the
Mhm.
video where you discussed going to the pool where you were asleep and everybody went to the pool and left you there. And I want to bring that up because that
Okay.
story in particular is what resonated with me. So, can you
Mm.
tell us the story about tell us the story about the pool?
Okay. So I forgot the lady's name. So I'm a YouTube junkie, so I'm glad that I'm on YouTube.
Oh
Because
yeah, so we're going.
that is what I yeah, so that's why I'm glad, because I listen to so much people and so many people, and I get so much inspiration. Like the way I think and stuff is like I get bits and pieces from different people. But this one lady, she's a hypnotherapist, and she does this practice where you just close your eyes and you think. And she was talking about your childhood, and what is the first thing that pops up in your mind about your childhood that might affect you now. And when I did that, to my surprise, because I've been through quite a thing, few things in my childhood. So I'm thinking, why did this pop up? So it popped up this one time that I was sleeping and I was in the living room sleeping too. Like we all hanging out in the living room and I fall asleep. And then I wake up and the house is empty. And I'm like, where is everybody at? Where's everyone? I'm panicking and stuff. My mama wasn't even there. And then I'm like, what is going on? So they come back and they all having fun and whatever. They wet at the pool. I'm like,
everybody hair all drawn up from water.
everybody drawing, they having fun and stuff. Everybody toes and hands got the wrinkles on them and everything. And I'm like, ain't nobody want to wake me up. None of y'all. Like, and so I feel like that came up because that's that feeling of inadequacy. Like, am I worthy? Am I enough? Like, and I think that a lot of us have where we become people pleasers and we become, look at me, look at attention seekers because we didn't feel that. And yeah, that was one thing that I had to dig deep with because you don't want to go around, feeling inadequate.
And the crazy thing about it is the reason why that resonated with me so much is because I have been so guilty of feeling like I need to prove that I'm not the person that people think I am, or that
Mhm.
I'm not this person, or I don't, I'm always thinking like, well, I don't want to say it like that because I don't want anybody to think. And now I'm in a place where, excuse my language, but I'm like, fuck that. Not doing that
Mhm.
anymore. At this point in
Mhm.
my life, if you don't know who I am and you don't know that I have the best intentions and you don't know I will give you the shirt off my back, then you don't need to be around. And I have
Mhm.
gone through, and that's with work, that's with friends, that's with family, that's in relationships, that's co-work, that's anybody I meet. I have continued to beat myself up to the point of where it is visible that I'm beaten up, but I'm the one doing it to
Mhm.
myself because I'm so busy, you know, like like you said, am I enough? Like, do people see that? Like, do they not see that I'm trying to? And at this point, it's not even about what they see. It's about what I'm doing. Is it
Mhm.
pleasing for me and God? Is it getting me to the next level in life? Am I doing the right thing?
Right.
Am I living to the standards that I have set for myself?
Right.
So when you talked about that, while a lot of people may not understand that whole pool incident and how it can affect you as an adult, they may think like, why is she talking about the pool? It's a deeper meaning than that. It's
Mhm.
you really
Mhm.
feeling like, am I enough? And so many times we can go through things as kids. Um, it can be so much as the fact that your parents didn't hug you enough, or say they love you enough, or that you didn't have a lot of friends,
Mhm.
or whatever the case may be, that will make you as an adult question who you are and question if
Right.
you're good enough to be in this circle, or good enough for this job, or good enough for this relationship. And at this point, like I said, I have gotten to a place of like, you know what, I'm enough. And if I'm not enough for you, you're more than welcome to
Right. I'm not
go
for
find
you.
more. I'm not for you. So
Mhm.
that really resonated with me, and so that leads us into you creating your YouTube channel.
Yes.
I was so happy when I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Get that YouTube
Yeah.
on, because I'm a YouTuber. I like to be on YouTube. I'm not so much of a TV person, but I like to go on YouTube because I can decide what I want to watch. I'm really big on,
Mm.
feeding myself, and I can't watch a lot of stuff that's on TV because it gets in my head, and then I'm thinking
Mhm.
about it because
Mhm.
I think so. Oh, girl, it's just I internalize everything. So I have to be very mindful on what I put in my spirit because I'll start internalizing it. So
Right. Exactly.
you started your YouTube channel, and I was like, yes, ma'am, because that
Mhm.
I like to go on there and actually I can go through video after video after video, and each video I know for sure is going to feed my soul. So can you
Right.
talk about your YouTube channel? Because girl, people need to be following that. I know you just started.
Yes, I was gonna say I just started the YouTube channel and so like a lot to say, and I wanted to get it out. And then it's COVID now, quarantine, and people are not really out like that. And I was like, oh, girl, do some videos. Just if it, something was in my spirit, like just do some videos. So, like I said before, I'm just a reserved person in the first place, and then I'm not shy, but I will like I've done something for work where I had to stand up in front of everybody, and I was shaking. My boss was like, stop tapping. You know what I mean? Like, and sweating. And so I got through that. So my videos, I literally just have to record them and post them. I don't even look at them. I don't do no retakes. I don't do anything. So that my YouTube is from the heart. It's genuine. I feel like I want to help others. You brought up generational curses. Like I really want to be able to be that curse breaker. And I feel like I am, but even further, you know what I mean? I just want to get my voice out there and just be helpful. And then kind of be like a motivational friend. So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, motivational friend, because it's I'm working on becoming a life coach. I don't know how I feel about that label. So just like
I
being
love
vegan
it.
or being a Christian or whatever, I don't know how I feel about labels. However, life coach is what I'm being certified for. And so I just want to be a friend to people. I want to be able to talk to people with that where it's no judgment,
That's right.
and be that open person, just that sounding board for other people. So the YouTube channel is the start, the Instagram, I am Chardon, Cherie. Most people think it's Cherie, but it's Cherie, just the regular old Cherie. And yeah, I'm excited. I think, and I'm thankful for you because you
Oh,
also pressed me too. You were one of the confirming words that I got.
what?
That girl, why don't
Thank
you just
you.
do your YouTube? She was like, you was like, well, I'm gonna do the podcast this weekend, so it'd be good if you had your YouTube. I was
Well,
like, girl,
I'm glad you started it because,
YouTube it is.
yes, ma'am. I'm glad you started it because for me,
Yeah.
like YouTube is my social media of choice. I can do
Mhm.
whatever, all the other social media. If I didn't have it, it would be fine. But YouTube is my social media of choice because I like to feed my soul. So I am super happy. I'm ready to see this thing take off.
Thank
I'm glad
you.
that you just shared that you're getting certified to be a life coach because I think
Mhm.
that is the perfect thing for you to be doing, especially right now, and especially with everything in the little time that I've known you. Those things that you've been through have been big determining factors in a lot of who you are, as an adult.
Mhm.
Because I met you in my
Right.
20s. And so
Mhm.
and I've seen you grow, and we haven't even talked, like literally we just started talking. Aside from a like here and a comment there, we literally
Right. Right.
just started talking. And like I told you before, when I moved to Texas, it was something serious trying to meet friends. And I don't know if I just wasn't good at it, or if it just, it was back to that you just trying to be friends with any old body and you're doing everything
Mhm.
to fit in with this crowd and that crowd. And you know what? I finally took that step back and said, you know what? It ain't even me. Like I ain't
Right.
never had this much drama in friend circles, and that's not even me. And
Right.
so
Right.
once
Right.
I came to understand that, it was like, you know what? I don't need all them friends. The little couple little people, like, it's okay. Like it's okay. You
Yeah.
don't have to be, like you said, attention seeking, the life of
Mhm.
the party, the main event. Like
Right.
you don't. And
Right.
it has been really refreshing to see you go through your transformation because a lot of people are watching. And people might not like
Mhm.
a picture, they may not put a comment, they may not send a DM, but they are watching and they are
Yes.
listening.
I got that in my
Sometimes
spirit.
they're
Mhm.
also taking that advice and applying it in their life, but they're not gonna give you props for it. And that's fine. Because your job
That's
ain't
fine.
you ain't here to get props. You're here to help people and help lift other people up.
Right.
So I totally commend you for that. I know a lot of people
Thank
are going to
you.
be really helped. And yes, ma'am, Ayana finna go off this season. So hey, here we come with Chardon and Cherie. She's com-
Hi,
she's coming,
yes, speak it
she's
into
coming, she's
existence.
coming to help you out of breakdown. She's coming to get you out of breakdown, beloved.
Come on, help you with your journey,
Yes.
honey.
So that is
Yes.
gonna be really fun. And I think especially with you having, you know, your I'm not gonna say just younger, but you are of a younger um you would attract a younger demographic and be able to, move forward. And I think so many young people are and mainly, well, a lot in the black community, we're so against going to therapy. And so I think with you coming
Hmm.
with your expertise and your life experience and your youthful, just your youthfulness, the youthfulness of yourself, like people will be attracted to having a life coach. I think some people would rather say if they have a life coach versus a therapist, which to me, they come
Right.
across as the same thing because it's all in trying to balance out your life and make, like you said, make things make sense. And I'm definitely gonna
Hmm.
be using that because that,
Yes, make it make sense.
that's your slogan, honey.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
slogan.
make it make
Make
sense
it
is
make
my slogan.
sense.
Make it make sense. Cause like the funny thing about my videos, just on the topic of what you were just saying, is that males, men, our kings out here have been reaching out to me more than anyone else. And it's not on no I'm trying to holler at you. Like they really, our men out here need a life coach. So
That's right.
I don't know like if that's the route, I'm here for everyone. But it was surprising to me to see that the men were like, I'm feeling you, sis. Keep going. You
Yeah.
know what I
And
mean?
push through it. Push through it.
Yes, because and that's also with men in dealing with men, they don't want to go to therapists. Most women, some women will be like, "Oh, okay, I'll talk to somebody," but men for sure, they're like, I'm
I don't
not
want
doing
nobody in
that.
my business. They don't need to be, I don't need
No,
nobody to tell me nothing about my
and they don't
business.
even know. They don't even know me. What you think? Something wrong with me?
Right.
It's something wrong with all of us.
That part.
It's still something. I'm on a journey. It's still something wrong with me. I'm just trying every day,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
trying to make it make sense every day.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah,
So it has
yeah.
been so wonderful to have you on. Tell us one more time where everybody can find you.
Okay, I'm on YouTube. The YouTube is new, so you can look up Chardon Cherie on YouTube and like and subscribe there. And then I'm also on Instagram. I am Chardon
Okay.
Cherie.
Well,
I
you
am
guys,
Chardon Cherie. Yes.
I am Chardon Cherie. So you guys make sure
Yes.
that you go and follow Chardon for your new spiritual healing and just your transformation in life. And it doesn't have to, everything does not happen overnight. Things do
It
take
does not.
time. Just get on the
Mm-hmm.
transformation. So you guys make sure that you follow I am Chardon Cherie and check out her new YouTube channel. Um, Chardon Cherie. Is it Chardon Cherie?
Just look up Chardon Cherie.
Chardon
Yes.
Cherie. So
Look up Chardon Cherie. And make it make sense, y'all.
make it make sense. And
Make
if
it make
nothing
sense.
else, make sure you all go and tune in to the Coffee Bean Talk podcast and follow us at Coffee Bean Talk podcast on Instagram.